Good evening. Welcome to our presentation here tonight, the 117th edition of the Issues Room. Our broadcast is live Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and on our Issues Room page. We'd like to welcome you, our viewers all over the world, to this final broadcast of 2022. It's Friday, December 30th, and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the East Coast. We're broadcasting from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm Volcano Shelton. I'd like to welcome you wherever you are, whether in Africa, whether in Liberia in particular, the purpose for which this platform is created. We say welcome. Hope you're having a great time. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas and in anticipation for the new year coming around the corner on Sunday. I'm elated. I'm grateful. I'm happy because Sunday is a special day for me. It is my birthday, and I will be seeing another year. But before I delve into more of the conversation, I'd like to go backstage and welcome Moses Sandy to this 117th edition. We'd like to welcome Mapu Hall. We say thank you for joining us. Spread the word. We have a few people here right now with us. We want you to encourage you. This last broadcast is critical and it's important. And so we want you to invite someone and let us have a wonderful time tonight together. Moses, good evening. It's good to see you, man.
Good evening, Volcano, and happy pre-birthday. I
Yes,
know,
coming up New Year's Day.
I know you're going to swing it on Sunday, my man.
No, 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 no. You see, people think
I,
birthday you
I
should be
already
drinking
bought
all
my
over the place,
I
getting drunk.
already bought my suit, my man.
People think birthday you need to be all over the place getting drunk. No, no. It is.
Yeah,
I think it's a moment of reflection and in
yeah,
anticipation for a new year. You see,
yeah,
the interesting thing of my birthday falls on New Year's Day,
yeah. So it's
but
two
also,
two celebrations, my man.
yeah,
Yeah.
but also it would be sweet and nice
Hmm.
if you use that moment to spend the first portion of the early mornings into prayer time, giving God, the honor for sparing your life, granting
Yeah.
you to see another day, you know, and then you move on to other things. But I think that's the way to go about it. Is it's interesting, Moses, and so, um, but no one should just take birthday and run with it,
Yes.
run
It
with it,
means a lot,
and
and
celebrate out of character.
yeah. And so let me use this time to join your many friends and family members to wish you happy birthday in advance. We wish you many more returns and a prosperous future. Volcano, every second counts.
Absolutely, especially in
Every
these last
second.
days.
In these last days, man, every second counts. So it is a blessing to reach thus far. So we wish you well. Uh, the Issues Room family joins me in wishing you many returns. And today we come. This is the last edition of the Issues Room for the year 2022. So this is another interesting discussion today.
Yeah,
And
and I think the interesting.
let me
Okay, go ahead.
quickly, yeah, let me just quickly tell our many viewers out there, wherever they are, to please do us a favor by sharing the link. Tonight is for them to participate in our discussion fully. Right, Fukano?
Absolutely, that's what I was about to say. We want people to join us here. This is the moment for you to send your request to your loved ones to tell us what's on the agenda for 2023, your resolution, what you hope for yourself, for your family, for your country, for Liberia, because this year coming up will be a defining year for our country. Yep, it will be seriously a defining year. And so we're looking forward to a lot of folks calling us here tonight, joining us on this conversation. Good morning from Australia. We'd like to say thank you, Ms. Umo, for joining us in Australia. Man, listen, I don't know. if I can pay you for your commitment, but it's good. And I'm sure you love the conversation, you love the alternative to all of the platforms, because oh man, the platforms getting plenty on there. I, I, I just want to pack my banner and forget this thing, because everybody got a platform. Everybody,
Everyone runs a platform. The
yeah.
platforms are so many now that people
Even
are
government
even getting
officials and all
confused.
got their own platform.
Oh
Instead of
yeah,
serving the people,
so man,
representatives and senators say they got platform.
they're
What
running
kind of
their own
trouble is this?
platform.
You
Yeah,
can't let
everybody.
us do the news for you. You come make the news and let's do the news.
Yeah,
You
and
know, but it's just, that's the fad. Anytime there's something everybody can run to, whether they have the expertise, whether they're competent, whether they're capable, whether they're able to hold a conversation, no, everybody wants to bask in the moment. And I think the thing is a star making entity. Social media platform is a star
yeah,
making entity. No,
yeah,
some of us were stars before this moment, and some of us are still stars before this moment. But
yeah.
it's a good thing to have a variety, but people need to step up the game, do better with what they do, and put some energy and effort and expertise into it. Rather than just come here and ramble and try to think they can gain prominence by being vocal, like using vulgarities and insulting and all of that.
Insulting
Yeah, so
people,
so that kills, you know.
and some of the podcasters even come nude. And
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I've seen some in our community coming nude, and some come, they are speaking on topics that they have no clue. Sometimes they even speaking, you wondering if the person is speaking his or her dialect. And you just can't whether, if you have communication problem, you don't know your verse subject equipment, please do not embarrass yourself. You cannot be a podcaster. That would be my advice. Not everybody can do this. If you have to think whether the word is, whether you're going to use the word is or are repeatedly, then you have a problem. This is not for you. Yeah.
Let me quickly welcome Stanley Bosso. Good evening. Welcome to the Issues Room. It's away. We say thank you for joining us, Emmanuel Jackson. We're looking forward to Thomas Awaji, Weirdo, Raymond Clark, Flomo Livingstone, River Says Pro, Telvi Cole, um, Madam Sterling, and Seaton, and all you committed folks. We looking forward to you coming in here tonight. Our man Gregory Stem,
Yeah.
Manu Sumo, just the whole crew, all the folks that come on and join us here tonight. Moses, what do you have for trending news so we can kick this ball and start this 1 hour and a half conversation?
Well, from my end, I have two top stories that I consider to be trending news. I will start at the local level, meaning from Liberia. Today, the Alternative National Congress, the ANC of presidential hopeful Alexander Cummings, issue a press release in Monrovia disclaiming a statement that emanated from the Secretary General of the ruling CDC, Mr. Jefferson Koji.
In fact, hold on. Let me tell Kota Greystone, Cisse, good to have you. He's the new philosopher. He throws out a lot of hypotheticals on Facebook. Good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have my man Alexander Boniface Emmanuel Hayes. Good to have you as well. Go ahead, Moses.
Yeah, so as I was saying, Mr. Koji reportedly, told reporters in Monrovia yesterday that the ruling CDC is currently in discussion with the ANC with the full purpose of, coming together for a political collaboration. But the ANC swiftly dispelled that claim today. The party says um, no discussion as such is taking place, and the ANC is committed to making Mr. Weah or President George Weah a one-term president. Now, people who are lovers of soccer I'm sure most of you may have heard about this story. The story broke yesterday. Um, the world soccer icon of Brazil, Kim Pele. His native name is Edison Arantes do Nascimento. Mr. Pele died yesterday at age 82. He won three World Cup tournaments. I think his first goal was scored at age 17. And Volcano, I was doing some background work on Mr. Pele. Mr. Pele played uh, 1,363 games, including friendlies. And out of the 1,363 games that he played, he scored 1,279. So it's like for almost every game this guy played, he had to score a goal. That's how far he reached in his career. He was a forward, very prominent, very, very notable when we talk about soccer in the world. So the world, especially Brazil, has lost a very prominent soccer player. And that's how I'd like to wrap it on trending news.
Thank you, Moses. I'd like to quickly recognize my daughter. Today is her birthday, Volcious Shelton. Um, I almost forgot about it. She's out there in Maryland. She'll be coming over tomorrow.
Oh,
She
wow.
celebrates her birthday. So, Volcious, if you're listening tonight, this is from Dad. Congratulations, celebrating your day. I'm grateful that you can be here with me, especially in these trying times. We talked about Dr. Daniel Cassell the other day. It's still a dream. It's still something that I can't wrap my hand around. And
Yeah.
every time I think about it, it pushes me to think that this life is a snap of the finger and you're gone.
Yeah.
And you can amass everything, you can have all the wealth, but it's unfortunate that God, in His power, not His grace, but His power, can snatch you out of here. And so it's important that we continue to have that movement and be around the Lord, irrespective of our sins. We must always be contrite about what we do to our fellow man. And when we slip and slide on the principles of God, we must reconcile ourselves to Him, because I am telling you, you don't know the next moment.
You know,
And Dr. Cassell came off the treadmill. Yeah, that's the irony of
he
his
came off the treadmill.
came off the treadmill. And everybody go on the treadmill, go get
Yeah.
your heart rate up. And then he comes off the treadmill and falls out.
Yeah.
So again, I just say happy birthday to my little girl, and it's good to that I can say this to you publicly, and some of our folks here telling you happy birthday as well. So it's good. But listen, Moses,
So, so Volcano, let me join you in
hey,
wishing
my man,
your
listen,
daughter happy birthday. My man, the
uh,
both of you have
lioness.
this is double celebration, my
Okay.
man.
Oh yeah, she and
Wow,
I are
what?
Capricorn. I'm on
Yeah.
Sunday. She's the 30th. So
Wow. Yeah. Congratulations, Voices. Wish you many returns, man.
yeah.
Celebrate, enjoy your day. Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead,
she's
Mr.
even watching
Shelton.
anything here tonight. So, the people on the social media, she might be doing something else. But let
Yeah.
me just quickly say that Henry Costa is in Liberia,
Hmm.
as promised.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of videos out there, but the joke is Henry Costa said there were four wise men. So I want to do the research. I think
Yeah.
I remember someone told me that there were four wise men. So now they're comparing him to Louis Brown. Louis Brown, who said the three Hebrew boys in the lion den instead of the fiery furnace.
Okay.
So apparently, my man, they don't know their Bibles. So now, fact check here. So they're putting the two of them at each other.
So you
Herod
fight checking
Costa
Henry Costa.
Yes, Herod Costa said four wise men, and
Yeah.
Louis Brown said three Hebrew boys in the lion den instead of Daniel in the lion den. But
Yeah.
it was just one of those things that I saw. But I saw him riding through the principal streets of Monrovia,
Mhm.
going up to the UP
The
party,
UP party,
uh,
Unity Party, yeah.
headquarters up there on Broad Street. I think they're in the building that used to be the family planning,
Yeah, on
old
Broad Street
family
there, yeah.
planning. Yeah,
Mhm.
I would say the Sacred Heart Cathedral.
Yeah,
So I saw him riding, and I saw him giving his punch, his fist up, and
yeah.
jeering and all of that. Um, but we wish him well in his senatorial bait. Uh, you know, it's gonna go down to the wire. Uh,
Yeah.
Joseph and Henry Costa, one can talk, the other one can give. So we'll see. That's
Yeah,
my
no,
analogy, and that's my trending news.
yeah, McKenna, and just to piggyback on that, right? Because into this Liberia, the first thing the people say, but are talking away eat.
And say the one he said talking do, cause
They
that
said
he can
talking,
talk anything. I was say he can talk. Yeah, the most
no,
he's
Henry
a
Costa,
Pentecost guy. He can't.
yeah,
He
he's,
will lose, but
yeah,
he's a giver.
yeah.
So we're still a giver and a talker. Who's one of the people will blow out?
Yes,
But
man.
but
Not
but
talking,
again,
not talking there and
yeah.
info on the table. But I will wish Mr. Costa, the best as he endeavor to unseat Senator Sir Joseph. And honestly, speaking of Volcano, I'm one of those who strongly believe that Sir Joseph should not be in the Senate.
And why?
He's underperforming. He does not know the role of a senator.
Okay.
Yeah, he's more fixated on business than the work of the people. Can you imagine this man chairs one of the most powerful committee in the Senate, chairman or executive? Have you ever heard him speak to any critical issue in Liberia? Of course not. He
Yeah.
goes for everything that Mr. Weir wants, and that's not the kind of president you want in the Senate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all of
Mhm.
those guys are compromised, and I think that's why our
Yeah.
country is where it's at. But tonight, our conversation here is to give the callers, the viewers rather,
Yeah.
our fans the opportunity to join us here in this conversation. So we now going to open the lines. We want you to please call. Please don't be a stranger to the conversation here tonight. You have the opportunity to join us here. And let's do this thing together. The number to call 404-272-2808, 404-272-2808. Be stimulated to call because it is about what we want to hear from you. You have heard us through the year. We want to hear from you. Call to tell us, what's your resolution, what you hope for Liberia comes 2023, you yourself, your family, and send shots out. We encourage you to call. So the line is now open. We don't want you to wait until the dial meeting. This show tonight will end at 8:30 prompt. We're not expanding for anyone who waits up to the dial meeting to call. So the line is open now. The opportunity is yours to call. We'll be conversating. If you call, we'll interrupt ourselves, take you, and then we'll continue with our conversation. But Moses, when you look at what 2022 brought us thus far, I would say it was a turbulent year in itself for
Yeah,
Liberia.
it was.
Because every
Yeah.
day you wake up, there was something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I thought I died and we have
No.
not heard anything from, and I thought to resuscitate as I thought about our last conversation on Tuesday that
Yeah.
had to do with the at risk youth
Yeah. There's
rampaging,
logos. There's
attacking, yeah,
logos.
at
Yeah.
risk youth rampaging and attacking
People.
peaceful citizens and marketers.
Mm-hmm.
I was brought back to remember what happened in Yuku town.
Yeah.
The
The
storm that
one
crusade.
with the
Yeah, yeah,
pastor, right?
yeah. I'm coming. When they stormed that crusade,
Yeah.
and went there with the intent to kill people. I mean,
Yeah.
rob people, not kill, but
Yeah.
rob people.
Mm-hmm.
Came with cutlasses and machetes and whatever you want to call it, and then it ended up becoming a stampede, and a
Yeah.
lot of people died, and we have
Yeah.
not heard anything from that. And then here to come again on Christmas Eve on Saturday, December 24, and go all around Monrovia, raging and raining havoc on the people to the point where three of them died because they got in a scuffle with the pimping boys. And our previous discussant who was here with us, Moba Dwana,
Yeah.
also said that his father funeral, and that's what they do.
Yeah, they
Uh,
go there.
like crusades and funeral, I'm not funeral, wake keeping, any
Yeah.
night occasion, they come around there and wait for the people who will be leaving and who will be coming later
Yeah.
to corner them and attack them and put knives on them and take their monies and take the personal belongings. So this is something we need to pay attention to even coming 2023.
Absolutely. The issue of lawlessness. And when Marba was here with us on Tuesday, he told you and I that Liberia is sitting what, on a time bomb. So sitting on a time bomb, he was making specific reference to the failure of the administration to uphold the rule of law, the failure of the administration to attend to those people who are quote unquote considered Zogos. These people are making life miserable for thousands of Liberians. There's a need for government to pay attention to that. But hey, since we're talking about resolution, I would like to start with myself.
Before you do that, let me quickly encourage most of the folks to call. Again, we have Thomas Awaji. It's your opportunity, my bro. Dwayne Nan, Emmanuel Jackson, Bennett O'Connor, Ahmad Freeman. I'd like to hear that military boy calling, hear that wake up buff who's building muscle. I gotta join you, my man. All of you guys. Adia High. Call us from Australia. Don't be a stranger. Call us,
Yeah.
tell us what's going on and what you're hoping for. We'd like to hear from you. Um, Quickly, Emmanuel Jackson said the building we're talking about, the UP party headquarters, used to be the residence of President Barkley, Edwin J. Barkley. I don't know if it's
Okay.
Edwin J. Barkley or Arthur Barkley. He just said Barkley, and we had two Barkley presidents, if I recall.
Okay. Yeah.
So one of the Barclays used to be uh,
In
uh,
that building.
or lived in that building, and then it was later converted to the planning ministry.
Yes, I
They
remember
used to
that.
be planning ministry before becoming family planning and all of that. So go ahead, Moses. Make your
Yeah, yeah, so I would like to begin my own resolution. And just looking back at the year 2022 for Canada, uh had not been for the grace of God, uh I would have been today referred to as the late. But I'm happy that I have been able to make it to this level, and I hope that the Almighty God will continue to shower His wonderful blessing upon my family and I. I pray for better days ahead. I pray for good health, and I pray for opportunities so that I can be a help to the many people who look forward to me for guidance and protection in the year 2023. So we hope that 2023 will make a better time for us. Mhm.
and that's good. That's good. Resolution is something that you make and then you have to fight to stay with it. But looking back on 2022, I thought it was a good year for me in particular. I spent at least 2 months out of the year in Liberia. I was able to accomplish a lot, irrespective of everything that went on. Uh, and then I returned and got back into the white business, and here we are with the issues room. This is one thing that we've committed to,
Mhm.
and just to be here Tuesdays and Fridays, again is a blessing. If you and I didn't talk, after the broadcast, maybe a day or two, at least we know that we're going to converge,
Yeah.
Tuesday or Friday.
Mhm.
And we've been able to stay responsible, to stay professional, to stay respectful to each other. Not a day you and I have had any argument that you
Mm.
don't want to call me or you don't want to speak to me. We will talk about our flaws
Yeah.
and work on to correct those flaws. And I think we both take it in strides. We both take it with respect,
Yeah.
even if we have if when you come and say let's do this, and I say, oh, you know what, this is early, let's do it this way. You don't go back and say, oh no, but we come to a common ground,
Yeah.
and that is important. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because we can be all smiling here every day, but the truth is that is genuine.
Of
And I
course, yeah.
want to say that it's genuine. I don't have no ownership to the issues room, and you don't have no ownership to the issues room. Both of us and the people behind us, we're all in this together. Thomas Awaji, who is a good friend and brother of the issues room, if he calls me and he said, V, I've been thinking about something. I just want to throw it at you. You can discuss it with Moses. We're willing to hear from Thomas. We're willing to hear from Emmanuel Jackson. We're willing to that's the difference here, because we are more, I will use the word democratic in the way we do things. And most of our conversations, the topics, the guests, we work to get those folks coming, the discussings and stuff like that. And I think you and I have come a long way, and I pray that we'll remain as peaceful and humble and respectful of each other. Professionalism, you have your capacities, I have my capacities, you have your abilities, I have my abilities, and no one here is bigger than the other. And we've
That's
done
right.
this together, and I'm humbled to work with you. I think that we have a long way to go. All we can do is continue to pray for long life. Uh, the issues room is unique in its own.
Yeah.
It's not about 2,000 fake numbers that Facebook, you pay Facebook to put those loud number and say that's your live view and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that the people who come here to hear us, they don't walk away empty. They
No.
walk away taking something, and that's why they come back. And so the faithful few, I'd like to thank you all. That's my commitment, and that's my regards for your time that you share with us. Thomas Awaji, Edward Nifor, Amma Freeman, Dwayne Nan, even though you may not be here every time we broadcast, but just the fact that you can find the time to come here and join us, we're so appreciative of that. And Ben O'Connor, I know there are a lot of competing platforms. I see a lot of you all over the place looking for for somewhere to
Information.
go, but you still come back to the issues room, because
Yeah.
indeed we are the alternative. We bring you uh, our content. Our content is not the ordinary content. We don't come here to come play music and make noise around here. We come here to discuss substance, and
Well,
that's what we implore you, our viewers, the partners. We call you our partners, our fans, our well wishers, our supporters, to join us, because we want to hear from you. Rivers S Pro, you one of those guys too. We say thank you for being a part. Yako U Harris, we are Dole. I mean, we can go on calling names like Lamitai and everyone who
very
joins.
committed people.
Paul Moba, thank you so much. Kumba Abu, it's a pleasure having you here tonight to join us. And we said, listen, this is about our country, and whatever your little contribution can be to the conversation, we appreciate it. That is why we don't muscle our guests. We don't fight with our audience. We don't, go take for tag. If you said something that was irresponsible, we'll try to bring you to book, but we're not going to block you except it was other character to the point that it brings embarrassment to our
Yeah.
platform. And that is why we have been the alternative, highly professional group of folks, the people who come here to view us, the people who participate, the people who we invite, our guests, and so forth. So again, I say thank you for your time. Thank you for your service to the platform. We appreciate it. Again, we don't come here to play. We come here to discuss the things that matter. If you look at our model on our logo, it says we discuss the things that matter. And the things that matter, it's not just for Liberia, but for Africa and the Black diaspora. There are things happening here in the diaspora. We're one of the platforms that bring Liberian organizations to discuss what they're doing and what they're doing here and abroad. So again, we are more multifaceted. We're not just straight jacket, come here and talk one way. We
No.
delve into many areas of talks. And I think that makes it better for you and I, Moses.
I agree, definitely. And let me just say this quickly. One thing we try to do is not to come across as being against any individual a political party or a group of people. We come here, we look at the issues critically and objectively. Yeah, you can be my friend. If you are in the wrong, I come here, I'll say, hey, Volcano, this one, I disagree with you on that. And you say, hey, Moses, I disagree. That's how we should be. It should be about the good of the people, not about an individual or because you wanted a ride and the man did not pick you up. Now you got something against him. You say, okay, I'm going to issues wrong for this man today. And I'm going to say this. Sometimes people call me, I tell them, no, our show is not like that. It's not a talk shop. It's not a gossip room. We discuss the contemporary issues that matter most because some of the talk shows around here or the podcasts we watch around here, somebody will wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, Moses never had food to his house yesterday." What has that got to do with your podcast? If I never have food, it is my family and I business. And I don't want to know what you ate to your house, what you love into. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the
The
contemporary,
issues, the
the
issues.
public issues, the
That's
public
that's why
issues.
we had the
And
issues.
that's why we are the issues, man.
Talk about the issues.
We're
Let me
not
let me
talking
say
about
quickly
personal
before I
life.
get in trouble here. Agnes Barkley, thank you for joining us. You're one of those people who join us here. Darling Karn and my man said, don't forget me, DC Wilson. I'm so sorry, my man.
Yeah,
Mine
I
work
mean, I wasn't. Yeah,
Martin Senior. Look at the other man. That man been gone for a while, but he finally comes back. Uzondo,
oh yeah,
Isionyi.
yeah,
Yeah, our
yeah.
man from the LRN, Liberia Returning Network.
Okay.
Tyrone Marshall, Mr. Isionyi, we say thank you so much for joining us tonight. We miss you. I'm not sure if you're still in Ghana or back in Liberia, but we'll try to bring you guys back to tell us how uh, the refugees are returning to Liberia if that ever took place from Bujumbura. I think it's a conversation, Moses. We
Yeah,
got to jump on
we
because
can have
got
we
to
can
know the
have that.
status of those folks. Um,
And
but again, welcome to all of you, and just tell us if you're here. We'll recognize you. Go ahead, Moses.
yeah, I was saying that there is a perfect opportunity for them to be a part of the show. We want
Yeah,
them to call. Let
yeah.
them call and tell the
You,
people.
yeah,
Yeah.
you see on you if you can call just maybe another 5 minutes to tell us how the situation with our Liberian brothers and sisters in Buduburam, whether
That'll
the
be
camp
good.
is closed,
Yeah.
still in Ghana working out. But can you call? Are you able to call? Just call by WhatsApp the number, or you can call on Messenger. Just to give us 2-3 minutes of your time to tell us what's trending with the folks.
Yeah.
That would be great, and our audience would like to know because we thought Bujumbura was no more from what we heard and the efforts that was made by the Ghanaians because I heard they were trying to develop that area and so they were trying to get the refugee camp closed. But that's an opportunity if you can provide that for us, we appreciate it. So Moses, another thing that I thought that
Yeah.
2022 was very, very critical is this rice issue.
Oh
This
yeah.
rice issue and how it just went to sleep. And now the people sat there, they didn't even have rice. The man took $2.5 million to go have fun, and then he comes back, and then it's just everything as
Yeah.
normal. You think the guy dealing on the people? I mean, no, something not right though.
My man,
The guy gotta, the guy gotta be
look,
dealing on the people, my man.
no, Volcano, we have a passive society.
What?
Our people, look, but when something happens today, after 2, 3 days, it's gone to bed.
That's why they take advantage of Liberian men, right?
Yeah, the people exploit the people because we don't pursue. We are not persistent. We talk about it for 2, 3 days. That's it. You're talking about the issue of the rise, right?
Mhm.
The government allocated $11 million in its budget as a subsidy to rice importers. The very government came out and said it disbursed. $11 million. The importers came out and said, no, we didn't receive money. Oh, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Commerce, and others. What happened? Nobody hears nothing. $11 million.
And Sir Joseph said he coming to be importing rice too.
Yeah, the man said we're importing. That's what I said. I don't want this man in the Senate.
What kind of trouble we see?
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
But listen,
this is the man who's supposed to be holding the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Commerce accountable to tell the people of Liberia.
But he won't get
why he said, he said, in fact, he told to tell you that Sir does not even understand his job, right? He posed the people against his own government. After the government came and said, hey, we will increase the price of rice to $17.50. Sir said, look, if the government doesn't reduce the price of rice to $15, he and others will bring rice into the country. Was he not indirectly? Was he not indirectly putting the people against his government?
Yeah, undermining the government.
Yeah,
but the people other than that, they know when to say that. They just sit there and allow it. But listen to this.
Yeah.
John Eddie just wrote here. He said, "George, we are going to Brazil for Pele funeral. Our taxes will suffer." So, and you know a football icon.
Of course.
As that of Pele and George Weah put to show off.
Yeah. The man has to go.
So we got to put the man in the budget again. We got to find money to send the man to Brazil.
My man, the man bought his suit yesterday. Immediately he heard about the man death. He already paid for his suit that he will wear to that funeral. The man paid for his suit already. So
Sir Joseph now want to be a rice importer. So let's take this back. Let's go. Let me just take you back to reflection.
Yeah.
President Talbot had to deal with the rice issue. Hold on. I think it's
the rice riot.
Calling. Yeah. So, he's calling.
Okay.
Let me see here. You see on you?
Yes, hello? Sir.
Welcome, man. Thank you so much, man,
thanks for calling
and calling tonight to just share with us what we ask you about. It's good to have you. Belated Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much for the invite. Thank you to you. Thank you to you, Mr. Sunday.
Welcome, sir.
You know the time zone. You know is somehow complicated. That's the reason why I often don't come on live. But I often watch the videos. I go back and and watch your videos.
Yeah,
of your
you're right.
program.
You're
you guys
right. You're right. I think it's what midnight. Our time is midnight for you.
It's actually currently past midnight right now.
No. What I'm saying, our broadcast time is midnight for you. 7 p.m.
Yes.
Yes, 5 hours.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, so it's understandable, my brother. But it's always good to have you around. Very insightful gentleman, very well learned, and understand the plight of the people. Budum Buram is still there, from what I heard. One of my brother here, David Bestman, said that he was there in April. But April, I was way then. No? So is Budum Buram still there? Let's put it that way.
Yes, it is still here. Thanks to you, thanks to the work we've been doing, thanks to the awareness we raised. We were able to have a moratorium placed on the eviction at the time. So
okay.
We the work you people did, the awareness you people help us to create. For the time being, the moratorium has been placed on the eviction notice. So yes, Liberians are still here. While work is still going on with the government in Liberia, with other stakeholders to carry out the repatriation.
So do you think?
I'd like to say thank you to you.
Do you think that this really going to happen at some point, maybe next year? Do you see the coming together of all the parties to make sure that this repatriation takes place and the camp is finally closed?
Mr. Shelton, that is our hope. That is what we set out to do, to be able to have our brothers and sisters repatriated to Liberia in a humane fashion. Because the situation as it stands is not a right one. But because the government of Liberia intervened along with the LRRC and the government of Ghana, with the International Organization of Migration, all the other stakeholders came in, us as an organization, we could not do anything, so we only have to wait for them to see if it will be possible, for, especially from the government of Liberia side, to live up to their commitment to carry out the work they're supposed to carry out in Liberia to be able to take our brothers back home. So it's our prayer. I cannot say for sure if that will happen or not. It's our prayer. That's what we are hoping for. We hope, that everything works out fine. But we continue to advocate. We continue to meet with stakeholders. Just the other day, the executive director was with the ambassador, His Excellency, Mr. Akubi Apia in Liberia. They met, and then he continues to plead with the ambassador to talk to the local authorities here in Ghana not to carry out the demolition until we're able to do our work. So, conversations are still going on, and then we hope that things will work out for our brothers and sisters to be able to go back home.
What pressure is on the Liberian government? If you think about it, they just passed the budget. Do we know what is in the budget for repatriation? Because the LRRC, it was one of the viable entities that was responsible for repatriation and rehabilitation and all of that. Do we know what is in that budget? Because from what we hear, the RRC is underfunded.
Absolutely, man. Funding in Liberia right now is all across the world. Liberia is no exception. But we do not know. I cannot tell you what's in the budget, specifically for the repatriation. But HRRC has a budget, I'm sure, and they've been doing some work. They sent a team here that was able to do a census, an official census. They did that, collected the data, and took it back to Liberia. So they are doing something. I cannot tell you the numbers that's in the budget and whether it is sufficient, but there are still a lot of things that needs to be done, my brother. I cannot say for a fact. I cannot speak for LRRC, but from the look of things, from standing from an independent standpoint, there are a lot of things that needs to be done. And we just hope that the government of Liberia is able to live up to its commitment, to be able to take our brothers back home. We continue to pressure, rather. We serve right now as a pressure group. We continue to raise the awareness because we don't want this to die down. So we continue the conversation. We continue to speak with stakeholders to make sure that this particular situation is resolved. That's all we can do for now while we look up to them to see what they can do from their side.
But finally, before we take leave of you, David Bestman, who was there in April, says that in his opinion and observation, Liberians seem to be content in the camp. He doesn't think that they're even making effort on their own to see, reasons to return to Liberia. And at the same time, he doesn't even think that the government of Liberia showing any concern and care, for her citizens, not just there, but anywhere in the world, because you have a lot of Liberians in other Arab countries that are being held as slaves, and they continue to come on social media to ask the government for pleas. So, what do you think? Are Liberians too content being out in Ghana and they don't want to return?
The issue, you see, is a very complicated issue. To me, I don't think it is about being content, because if you look at the situation is not a situation that anybody would want to be in. These people did not leave Liberia to come out for vacation. They came out here as a result of civil war. Now, to get these people back is a lot of things that need to happen. All right? I don't think they are happy with their situation, but the government needs to take charge of the situation. They need to send people in the camp, talk to the people here, let them know the reason why they have to return home, let them know that there's peace in Liberia, let them know the benefits that they stand to gain should they return home to Liberia. So there's a lot of things that need to happen that's not happening. It will seem as if the people are satisfied, but I believe strongly that these people, once they have the opportunity to go back home, they will hop on it. In fact, when it came to do the registration, a lot of people registered. I mean, if you take the data the FRRC collected, a lot of people are willing to go back home, but the government then started to drag its feet. It continues to drag its feet, to really carry on the work that it's supposed to carry out. So I don't think there's contentment on the part of these people, but it's just that they have no way out. Some people are even trying to find their own way back home from what I've started to gather. But a lot of other people just do not know from where to start should they return to Liberia. That's the reason why they keep on, hanging here in Ghana. And when you ask a lot of people, will tell you, oh, for now, we don't have anything to do, so we just keep hanging in here, managing with the situation here in Ghana, unlike, going back home and not having anything to start up with. So I'm not really speaking for them, but I don't think that they are content with the situation, my brother.
Thank
Everybody
you.
wants to go back home and want to go home.
Thank you. Let's just come back to Liberia. You guys were able to acquire, a parcel of land in Bombing County. What is the story right now? What's happening?
So with the land is there, we were able to secure the parcel. But now what we have to do from our own side is to wait and see what will happen with the situation with LRRC. Our land is there. It's a private land. It's not for government. We are not government, as we said from the very beginning. We do not have the kind of money, to be able to do this kind of operation all on our own. So we had to wait for LRRC. LRRC saw a need, and they jumped into it. They said they could do it, so we had to wait, pause, and give them the benefit of the doubt to see if they'll be able to do what they said they would do before we continue. But we continue to talk to people, to network, to let people know the situation. We raised a lot of awareness in Liberia. We carry out marches in Liberia. We've been speaking to stakeholders back in Liberia. And at the same time, giving the government the benefit of the doubt to see what they will be able to do, because it said it's their responsibility. So for now, we are looking up to them to see what they will do, but we are still working. And as you visited the office, Mr. Shelton, you saw the kind of work we're doing. We were not only working with this situation of refugees. We are doing a lot of vocational training program, other programs that we are running back in Liberia that we are also focused on. So this is not the only program that we are working on currently. We have other programs down there that we are focused on. So we are waiting for this year to end and see what will happen, with the coming year, to see that we will continue our work from here in Ghana.
Thank you so much. Your resolution for Liberia, yourself, your family, and then send 1 or 2 shots out, and let's take leave of you.
Well, my dear brother, we hope for a peace and peaceful coexistence amongst us all. I was so happy to see you back home. Although it was not easy. I follow you and I saw some of the difficulties you went through, but it was a good thing that you went back home. To try to do something back there. That's the encouragement. We are encouraging people to come back home. I'm here in Ghana. I see a lot of people coming back to Ghana over this vacation period. I see so many Americans, coming to Ghana, Black Americans, coming to visit the country. This is the same thing we want to happen to Liberia. People should come back home in peace, and do what they have to do. So I wish you all well, and I wish everybody well for the coming year. And I hope we continue to work hard in unison, my dear brothers, to see a better Liberia for us all. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Shelton. Thank you, Mr. Sandy, too, for everything that you guys have been doing. We recognize you. In my personal name and in the name of the organization, I say thank you so much for this opportunity. And thank you to your listening audience for everything that you do. I hope people will continue to support you. Like you were just saying, a lot of people don't come on here. Don't mind the numbers. You got organic numbers, Shelton. So don't mind those numbers from here and there. Just keep on doing what you do. You don't know who's listening. You don't know who's following your work. But I can tell you for a fact, people are following your work and people are looking at what you do. So continue to do what you do, my dear brother. Do not leave. Do not veer off your path. Continue going, and we'll continue to support in any kind of way we can do. We can support. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you very much, Mr. Shelton, and Mr. Stanley too.
Thank you. Uzondu, well said.
Yeah.
Uzondu Isionyi, a Liberian who is out there in Ghana. He's been there for a while, but he's one of the coordinators with the Liberia Returning Network, headed by Tyrone Marshall, who we've had on the show. And that was a very good way to, get the conversation again and throw light as to where the folks are. And, when you think about it, some of the people want to go home, but what are they going home to? Because their country is in more disarray than what they face with in Ghana. Let's be practically honest here, Moses. Let me give you an opportunity.
I mean, honestly speaking, you just took it from my mouth. So, the gentleman who wrote that the people are contented. I would not say the people are contented because, like you asked, what would they be returning to? If you uproot the people from Ghana today and say go to Liberia, the agency that is responsible for repatriation, resettlement, and rehabilitation, the agency is underfunded. Another agency that is responsible for dealing with what? Disasters. To tell you, Volcano, how profound our problem is, we have an agency that's responsible to respond to disaster when you have a crisis locally. This agency has the budgetary allocation of less than $800,000. So if these people cannot even respond to disasters in Nikutan, like the situation you talk about, the stampede, how you expect the disaster agency to help the affected families?
And the money you're talking about here, the $800,000, that's just for expenditure and the
Yeah,
day-to-day
you know, you
operation.
got rent to pay, you
So
have to
what's
run
the real
vehicles.
money that will take
Yeah.
care of the real disaster when the disaster comes? Why we what's going on with our own country? So we get paid people big money to do
Yeah,
nothing,
yeah,
just leave
man.
the country
Our,
to nothing.
our
Yeah,
priorities are
the
mixed.
people's salaries are more than
Yeah.
any other line item in the
Mhm.
national budget.
Yeah.
The salaries. Look at what it talked about the Ministry of Information. How the Ministry of Information when I suffer when you got ghost employees and somebody pocketing the money, the controller should say, well,
Yeah.
I'm not going to accuse Ledger Hureni,
No.
but I will accuse him because if he's the minister, he's supposed to know what's trending in the ministry.
No,
So
but the
you
people not paying the money to the man.
know what I'm saying? No, what I'm saying,
Oh, okay.
the
The
ghost
ghost names.
employees. You getting what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. I
Ghost
got you on
employees.
that. The
So at
ghost
what point
names.
does
Yeah.
Ledger who sits with his controller, his HR department, and say, hey guys, let me check here how many employees we have, and I want to make a roll call.
Okay.
I want to account for every employee,
Yeah.
right? Then you
Yeah.
can clean some of those things. Those excess monies can come into the budget and make things better. So you
Yeah.
got too many ghost employees across the country, and people are putting those monies in their pockets. And so salary is the way where they make all this money. People getting rich by the day, they're doing nothing. Look at your legislature, look at your judiciary, look at your sectors in the country,
Not,
underfunded.
nothing working, man.
Everybody gets paid,
Yeah.
especially when you're in the higher echelon of leadership. You get paid and get paid handsomely. You get your amenities, you get all your scratch cards, your fuel, your assigned vehicle. But then the ordinary people at the bottom suffer.
It's over.
So that's why this man has to go. This guy came and just wrecked the country. He increased government size.
Yeah.
He hired people who are incompetent, who do not have the abilities to function within their capacity. And even if they were doing the bare minimum, we'll see some difference. But all he wants was people to praise
Yeah.
him and heal him.
Yeah.
And there's not carrying Liberia anywhere. And if they sit there and try to transition this guy into another 6 years, comes 2023, Liberia is completely doomed. Because when you take Liberia and you dropped it in the abyss, or you put it in the vortex of absolute destruction,
Yeah.
or you put it in the whirlpool and it spins and wreck, you can't rescue Liberia because
So
Liberia does not have the capacity to really reform easily. When you look at the current situation, that the reformation of Liberia is a long-term process. So when you wreck the whole thing, you don't have the people with the mindset already. You don't have the people with the capacity to build back and rebound. So it's just like a zombie
oh yeah.
that seemed to be alive but had no concept of existence.
Yeah, you know, in summary, you're telling the world, you're telling Liberians wherever they are, that the year 2023 is going to be a critical period. It's either Liberia lives or Liberia dies. And how do you do that? If you want for Liberia to live on, you want for Liberia to make progress, you want a stable country, you want a country where the rule of law will be respected and adhered to, then you have to make that decision come October, that election time. This is not about someone being against the CDC or against Mr. Weir. Mr. Weir knows it, his supporters know it, that Liberia needs a change in political governance. George Weah is not up to the task. He himself, he knows that. Mr. Weah performs well when he's not in the country because he's there gallivanting, he's having fun, he's socializing. That's the time he feels
Relevant.
he feels relevant, he feels good. But when he goes back, when the people are talking to him about the situation at the Ministry of Information, the shortage of rice, the hike in crime rate, and all those things, he gets trouble by that because he has no clue in terms of what to do, how to intervene. The problems are coming, Volcano. It's like in our respective homes, the kids are complaining about everything. I said, Dad, you have no clue what to do to resolve those problems. And that's what happened into Liberia today. The problems are coming from all angles. And the man was supposed to steer the affairs, lacks the ability to comprehend, what the problems are and how to, formulate strategies for resolving those problems.
You got people who just take on themselves
Mhm.
to represent the government and speak in loose ways
Yeah. Yeah.
because the president shows incompetence. He
He's
doesn't talk to the country. He doesn't
uh,
talk to the people.
yeah.
You come back after 49 days, enjoy yourself. You go stay in a church, and then you say you're going against, your opponents.
Yeah.
Is that the forum? Is that the place? Is that the right time? You
And
should
man, look how come here and call you short man.
yeah. Isn't that crowd ball joke you were playing, Mr. President? That's why I said the man is running a crowd ball government. Then the only one speech he's looking forward to that they're going to write for him, where he would take it 15 minutes speech, he might take 1 hour to read because again, you always say he reads on a third grade level. Is that State of the Union?
Yeah.
How can you read a State of the Union when you should have been informed and well
Up to date.
did with the events of time through the year?
Yeah.
So how will you present a State of the Union speech when you yourself is not sitting to the table to write that speech? With my small ABC, I know I'm writing my speech from A to Z. Then your one can sit down with me and then we fact check and put some stuff inside. Then we do it. But you take your State of the Union, you give it to these people, they kind of bring it. You probably don't even rehearse it overnight. You get before they send it, and they themselves, they are all sitting there. Imperial is well dressed, and that's what I tell you. We can't take this into 2024. We cannot take this
Yeah.
kind of arrangement into 2024.
Mm.
We cannot.
We can-
Liberia needs better. Liberia needs better. This country is at a place. If George Weah was leading, we'll give him the praise.
Yeah.
But George Weah is not leading. He's not leading. We need leadership. We need someone who would take our country through these calamities and trying times into a better future. The little things that he's doing out there, busting the road and leaving it like that and blaming
That's
it
not
on rainy
good.
season.
Yeah.
And so that the rainy season been there, you take contract, you give it to companies that don't have no track record of even building a septic tank, and you say they should build roads, international highway. You build a little small invisible park out there, right on the road. You create more traffic.
Mhm.
No long-term thinking.
Yeah.
In fact, you trouble the area, and now it's flooding there because you block everything and you don't elevate well, and it's unfortunate. Uh, but that's what it is. And there's a guy here by the name of Richard Wegbo.
Yeah.
You will not refer to us as stupid. We'll give you the opportunity. You can be whoever you want to
But
be.
Volcano,
Yes,
the man does not even know how to spell, so just let
you can be a fanatic. We got a long time to go. Yes. Rebo, I hope you got a skyscraper like George Weah and you got 49 condominiums and he took you on a trip to Qatar
yeah,
and you were with him in a selfie with Biden. All right.
yeah,
Because some of you guys, you don't see, you don't see the bigger picture. Nobody's saying you can be a fanatic, but please don't insult anyone here. Nobody called you stupid. Don't call anyone here stupid tonight. Because
yeah,
I don't want to block you, but I want you to be professional and
yeah, man.
sound. You
Yeah,
can
man.
make your case. You can advocate. I want to say your CDC people can be so limited that everything comes out of your mouth are insults. There's a better way you can communicate. Please don't do that. All right. So Moses, as I was saying, so we need leadership,
Yeah,
and it has been spoken time immemorial. Now, when you think about it, then it brings you back to the oppositions and say, where's the leadership?
yeah.
Where is the leadership?
Mm-hmm.
When will the opposition wake up and begin to be vocal and begin to make their case and make it louder so that it pervades the atmosphere that it shakes the country?
I agree. As
We
we
don't
get
have
ready
time.
for as we get ready for
It's 9 months
2023.
away. nine
Yeah,
months away.
yeah.
The elections. 9 months away.
When will you start? When will you start?
They should be grateful that they have a Bobo president, a president who can speak, who can talk, who afraid to address the nation. That's a plus for the oppositions.
Absolutely. I mean everything. I think Mr. Weah's inability to speak to the issues, to speak to what his government is doing, that's a huge advantage for the opposition. The sanction on Mr. Weah's, former official, that's also a huge opportunity for the opposition to utilize in dismantling the CDC administration. But nobody says nothing. Nobody says nothing. When last year I ever saw these people speaking to our people? Omen Boaka, when was the last time? At least Mr. Cumming tries. He will come up sometime and make some, critical statements. When last you heard Benuna Ure, Prince Johnson?
But on USA, he just won't be friend to the president. So like,
No, but he's a political party leader.
stand the
He's a
bearer.
political leader. Yeah,
Yeah, stand the
he
bearer.
has to. Yeah. So when was the last time he said that? Look in the legislature. Milton Teje is a lawmaker elected by the Unity Party. He represents the Unity Party. Vonnie Sherman represents the Unity Party.
I thought the Unity Party expelled Vonnie Sherman. I don't know if he's still there though.
Okay, yeah, okay. When he was elected,
Mhm.
he was a Unity Party member. This other guy from Bomi, Setuma, Unity Party. You got all these guys that were elected by opposition political parties or that they represent opposition political parties. But what do? Nothing. They vote for everything that the ruling party wants, is what they vote for. So as we prepare for 2023, like you said, Volcano, what is the opposition doing to make sure that this man is not re-elected? This is about the future of Liberia, right?
We wanted to try. The Liberian people wanted to try something. They not try the thing now.
And
They
not
told us
working.
say people in Apankana, they said no. That's not true. No poo in the pangana. Now the boss the pangana now. My people, for those of you who not
The
don't
team
understand,
will the
I'm
team
speaking,
whistles all over the place, eh?
I'm speaking in Liberian layman term. A
Yeah.
palm kernel in the English form is
Yeah, we
palm
say okay.
kernel.
Oh yeah, we
All
say
right.
punkana.
But in
Yeah.
Liberia, we say pangana. Okay. But it said feces, which is poop,
Poo poo.
was in the
Yeah.
palm kernel.
Yeah.
And they said, no, we won't see for ourselves. So it is a parable in ways that we put a president in power who we felt had all of the ingredients to supply to make this soup cook well and taste well. But instead, the president who they wanted so bad, they put him in there and he takes on a whole new dimension. And the dimension is self-aggrandizement, self-wealth. Let's get to the line here. River says Pro Tour to just join us here tonight. River says, are you off?
I mean, I'm a break. I ain't ready off.
Oh,
I ain't
okay.
off
I
it.
mean, listen,
Yeah,
you're right,
John.
my man. Let me tell you something. You got to make your money. You got to make your money, oh.
Oh yeah, man.
But welcome, my man. Compliments of the season and happy New Year upcoming.
Yeah, same to you. You know, I was coming. I don't know. My man, I lost my own. I lost my sweater. I lost it. I can't find it. But I wanted to ask if we having our same New Year's Day stuff we have. I mean, I was about to grill you on it, but I said,
But that's the thing we're having tonight.
yeah, you know, when we had our little program, was it New Year last year?
No, Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Anyway, but as far as the Jefferson Koji's pronouncement, you know, I was looking at it hypothetically. To everything there's a motive. I'm sitting here and thinking, and remember, Jefferson Koji is not just an ordinary partisan. Those are the radical branch. Those are the people when you talk of Koji.
I mean, where you at? You hiding in a closet because you breaking in. Oh,
Oh, really? Oh no.
Put that phone to your mobile.
Yeah, no, I'm coming straight to my ear. I know. Can you
All
hear
right.
Yeah,
me
go
now?
ahead.
You
Yeah,
better.
go ahead. We're hearing you.
Okay, so
You sound good.
when you talk about Koji, you talk about Moluba Molu, when you talk about what's the name? What the other Akara Street, those are the heartbeat of CDC. If it had come from maybe guy like Eugene Nango, you say, oh, this guy was part of Unity Party. If it had come from anybody that's from another party that's Unity Georgia brought in as a government institution, but this is coming from the heartbeat of CDC. Now, hypothetically, I'm sitting here thinking that are there some truth to it? Because in Liberia, everywhere you see smoke, there's a possible fire.
But tell
So,
us what you heard.
for what I mean, look, I was watching another show today, and you know, it popped up for somebody. Well, I don't know how reliable it is, but you know, he talked in my direction, and hypothetically, I'm like, what if George Weah decides that okay, I mean, look at everything that going on for anybody. You know, George Weah left the country for all that amount of time, you see, and you know, as a supporter, I'm like, does he really? I mean, is he tired with presidency? Does he still want to why enjoy it? I said, well, my second term, you know, comments coming and I see this guy, he has the potential, even though we don't get along, but you know, economically, I think we can put it power. There are some deficiencies that my government have, and I think comments can make up for the deficiencies. And what if he decides to say, well, you know what, comments can slide in my spot for my second term, and then we all can work along. I mean, I'm just saying, just you know, it's just something I'm doing because if Cummings doesn't want to go as vice president to Joseph Walker, there's no way he's going to go as vice president. He probably already got Howard Taylor. So if that thing is popping up now, I know ANC people in the United States.
Oh man, you said it here. You just beating around the bush. Tell you saying that we won't get a job to Cummings for 2023.
I'm just saying it is a possibility. You
What?
cannot take anything off the table when it comes to politics.
But that means we will step aside and not run. Why would we want to run if you want Cummings to win with landslide?
Yeah, sure. We have to step aside. We are already in the book as one of our presidents. So it is possible that because that's
so then what they will do? They will merge with the ANC to carry three collaboration, the ANC, the NPP, because
Yeah.
you got the NPP people. I think They say Joel Howard.
Yeah, there's a her position
No,
has been
yeah,
declared
our
vacant.
MPP thing, I think it's settled. You know, ever since McGill left, and the CDC people, I think McGill leaving was important to them. Ever since McGill left, I see that momentum, I see that level of declaration in that lady, because she wept her eye with that handkerchief and gave it to Georgia. It was symbolic. They were not as close as when McGill was there. I think McGill was running the show in such a negative factor and was keeping that lady away. I see every time I see that. Look at the statement she just made. Say anybody want to run, let it wait for our secretary. That woman feels it. Right now she feels happy. So, but remember, so my last point, this whole Koji thing, remember, you have half a Cummins team. You got guy like Louis Brown for MPP. You got took a Gateway McIntosh for MPP. From what I heard, reliable source, Joe Howard Taylor has talked to Louis Brown, said, "My man, you know this rally you have over there, it was a disaster. You know, MPP is the party. This is the party we created. You guys need to come on board." Remember, Cummins team, half of Cummins team are either citizen or MPP. You don't even know who is actually an ANC. You can't even tell. Even the people in the United States are people, they tell me they were citizens. So they say we have to look in the ANC people in America. You don't know what's going on in that view. You don't even know Prince Johnson or Cummins gave 55,000 Prince Johnson. You don't even know Louis Brown was on that list until you said sorry. Somebody else scrambling here. I watched most of the programs. Somebody else scratching. It's still scratching the head for Louis Brown. What happened in Liberia is completely different from what is going on in the United States. ANC people gotta be very cautious how they go on the little platform there and try to dismiss everything. They have to make sure.
So what the key takeaway here? What you want to leave the audience with tonight?
Well, the key takeaway is in politics, you cannot take anything off the table. So as far as what Jefferson Koji said,
what does Jefferson Koji say? You didn't you didn't. He explains it. Roses proceed. I didn't hear it, so I want you to share because you have the opportunity now.
Let me provide that information.
No, hold on. Let the man down. You've been there. Most of the man brought it to you. Let him fix it.
Jefferson Koji said he's going to make sure to bring ANC on board.
Okay.
To work along with CDC.
Okay.
That's what he said. He made a statement. He said, "I love working with Cummins." Now we don't know where that statement came from. Has Jefferson Koji worked with?
All right. So we analyze it. Let's you sending any treat or you making any resolution quick?
Yeah. Happy New Year to all our issue room family, to all friends, relatives out there. Stay safe. Our New Year resolution. My resolution is I want unity in my country. I want a better leadership. The country needs to move forward. We all need to reconcile each other. Let New Year bring peace and prosperity and great life to my dear country, Mama Liberia. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you, Mr. Vinton, for calling. We appreciate your time, my brother. Thank you so much. But listen, man, Moses, these people would say things, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Jefferson Koji said that he wants to work with ANC and collaborate, it's just to throw the ANC supporters off the equilibrium.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with verity. There's no truth in that. You know how when somebody want to slander and then they accuse you,
the very thing.
Yeah. In the same case, where they alluded, the guy who made up the story about Mr. Cummings, his sexual orientation, and all of that.
Say the man's
so when Jefferson Koji come on and does this rather, is to gain popularity. 1, 2 is to create
to make the party unpopular.
Yeah, to create some make believe that wait a minute, Mr. Cummings is undermining his own self.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't even give credence to that. What's his name came here the other day and was giving up money to Eula on his own turf.
Your man Magay.
I think I said it earlier that everybody gets up and speaks. They don't even check in with the president. No, look, Mr. President, I'm about to say this, doesn't make sense. But when the man explores things, he doesn't even take action. So the people can do what they want to do.
Because Volcano, the man is clueless.
Because why would one of my lieutenants, the Secretary General of my party, jump to say something that has no, credibility.
Yeah,
And I'm the
yeah.
president of the country. And I don't put that man in the corner and say, I will ring your ear if you try that foolishness again.
Yes, man, don't do that
You know?
thing.
Yeah.
In fact, the party chairman, he said, if that thing, the party chairman will come and correct it immediately. And the chairman says that because the chairman himself, I am told that for months now he has had no direct contact with the president. So more, I think he's blessed to have Jefferson Kojo closer because Kojo has, that unrestricted access to the president.
Wow.
Yeah, Mama Molu doesn't see
But
the
but but
president.
you, but Mova Modus should know that he will not have that clear path to the president after you sit down there and talk all that bad thing about you.
Yeah.
Can't say the two things. So what mean that thing? I just ceremonious position in holding that
Oh
talk.
yeah, man, you're saying that, man. Yeah,
He giving 2023 to we are in one
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah,
one run.
yeah,
He's just trying to make himself relevant. That's all. But he
yeah.
can't give we are presidency in one run. It's
No,
not possible.
it's not doable.
It's not going to
Yeah.
happen.
With all the
Except
political parties, Mr.
But except
Weah,
except they rig the elections.
Mr. Weah
It be
popularity.
the beginning to the end or the end to the beginning. Who's one you want to put first? But no, seriously. So some of these guys have over talk. That's what I'm saying. They
Yeah,
talk. And we as the kind of guy, when you say the wrong thing, he will not chastise you, but he
yeah,
will keep
yeah.
that,
You just withdraw.
yeah,
He
put
said,
that put
man,
that wedge in
you put a
relationship.
barricade
Yeah,
there. You can't
yeah.
have access.
Because the
Eh,
minister of information, who's supposed to speak with the president every day.
Man, can see the
Information
man.
minister, press secretary, defense minister, NSA person, those
Yeah,
are the people that must talk to the president every day.
security
The
advisor.
president's own
Yeah.
well-being hinges around information,
Mhm.
security, and Moses'
Oh yeah,
own well-being though.
but Volcano, you seen
Go to bed,
something,
you
right?
wake up, you don't know what happened in the country security wise. You go to bed, you wake up, you don't know what happened in the country information wise because you're not having everyday conversation with your minister of information and you're not talking. The man now he's looking for conduit to get to the president. Can you imagine the information minister looking for conduit to get to the president?
Yeah, it's sad.
Is that
Very sad.
leadership? You tell me, Moses, is that leadership?
That's not
Then
leadership.
people want to say that this man is the president when
Yeah,
you appoint people but you don't give them access to you,
yeah, you didn't give them the opportunity to function to the fullest capacity.
but you want to funnel your relationship with them through a third party.
By a third party. Can you
Can
imagine
you do that
Volcano?
kind of job?
How do you expect Mr. Rennie, who speaks for the government, who speaks for you, George Weah, that to see you, this man has to go through barricades? How do you expect a man to do a job? And this is the man that people are all over the place saying that, oh well, let's read like the man. The man is a good leader. Where's the good leadership? And forget it. You have your kids at home, and when you come from work to come and tell you good evening, daddy. Mom said, no, your dad is resting. You go upstairs, you go upstairs. You never talk to your kids. You think no children will be happy? Eh, Forget it. I just can't wrap my head around this because it's so weird. I cover Liberian politics. You cover Liberian politics. When Samuel Doe was in the executive mansion, the Minister of Information, the late Emmanuel Bouya, then I was a young reporter at the Ministry of Information. Bouya had unrestricted access to the president. That man ran to the mansion on a regular basis. There was nothing that emanated from that mansion that Mr. Bouya didn't know about. He was speaking to the issues. The Ministry of Information was very powerful. The press secretary was very powerful. Mr. Kume, who now lives in Minnesota. All these people have unrestricted access. I am told that even Mr. Solo Kebe, our own friend and brother, rarely sees the president. I mean, can you imagine?
The people who see President Weah are the gossipers.
Yeah.
They're not the people that he hired to do the
To do the
professional
job.
job for
Yeah,
him.
to do
No,
the professional job.
yeah,
Yeah.
not just job, the
Yeah.
professional job
Yeah.
for him.
Mm.
He takes to the gossipers.
It
So he
is.
used the gossipers as conduit
Yeah.
so that the information can be distorted between he
Mhm.
and the people he hired to do the professional job.
Yeah.
Because if Volcano is information minister, I want to have access to you. If
Yeah.
30 minutes that you allot me every day is for me to meet with you, then I want to have my
That
30
discussion. Yeah.
I want to leave that room with fruitful conversation that I accomplished something as a result of my meeting with you. And
Yeah.
Mr. President, information is critical to governance.
Yeah.
Security is
It's
critical
critical.
to governance.
Mhm.
There are certain sectors in governance that you cannot compromise, that you cannot have, what I would call, what a word, man, what bad feelings or
Ill feelings?
yeah, like
Hindrance or
grudge.
yeah.
Oh no, grudge. I'm gonna
Yeah,
say,
grudge, yeah,
yeah.
grudge, yeah,
You
yeah.
can't keep grudge for certain components of governance. You can't
Yeah,
keep
you
grudge.
can't keep grudge, you
Either
gotta speak out,
you
yeah.
either fire that person
Yeah,
because you don't trust them anymore,
yeah.
or you can't keep them there and keep grudge or keep a
You keep grudge.
distance.
Keep a distance. It doesn't work. It start the
Yeah,
process of the government.
you can.
It start the
And
process.
it's a sad thing.
Yeah, it is.
And you can't run a country like football team.
No, it cannot.
Today will bench you. You ain't playing today because you kind of practice or
Yeah.
you pass the ball to me.
Yeah, so say my man, that man there, you know what? Say you man, you will
Yeah.
never touch anytime we play my man, I will mention man. You know, you can do that. But look, uh the most recent trip the president made abroad, it is my understanding that the EPS director did not make the trip because the president chief of protocol, Finabono, said he wasn't making the trip. So the chief of protocol will decide who accompanies the president. This guy is head of EPS.
But a lot
People
of
responsible.
Fina knew that the men were giving it. So she said, instead of we can take it, a small man can give it. But when the big man said give it, then it will not be correct. So let him
Yeah,
stay here and mind the
yeah.
mansion.
It's all over, man.
Yeah, but the man needed to stay home and mind the mansion. So
Yeah,
that
so
when I give Fina, I will clap for Fina. Let me stay home and mind.
Fina said
Yeah.
that man will not even
But,
come
you know,
closer to the
I
trip.
want us to close on this, Moses, because we're leaving here 8:30 prompt.
Yeah.
Mane Sumo said something here, and I posted. He said, "I don't think the opposition can stop CDC re-election. The people, the people, the Liberian people are the ones."
Absolutely.
And Thomas Awaji comes down here. He said, "Until Liberian people decide their own destiny in 2023, all bets are off the table for me." So,
Absolutely. I
so
agree
let's
with the
come,
both of them.
yeah. So let's come back and close up on this because this is the 2022 message we want to wedge into the intelligence of the Liberian people, into the faculties, into
Yeah.
the understanding of the gravity of the case,
Mhm.
the case that we must make. You have a country and you are in that country, you know what it is. Like everyone says, and Louis Brown did say that during that we are tired suffering. If you feel that you enjoy,
Don't
then
go.
do what you think best for you. But if you are in majority and you're suffering and you don't have the next meal and you're not even sure what you're eating on New Year's Day. You
Then
didn't eat
join us.
anything well on Christmas, and now here comes New Year. Anyway, January more hard for you know. And if you don't agree with the situation, then you have a choice to make. There will be political candidates in the race, including George Weah. You already know what George Weah has done for 5 years, and it will be 6 years by the time we go to elections. You don't know what the other people are capable of. You know the track record, not as presidents, but in
Mhm.
leadership. You have Tier 1 Gonglo,
Yeah.
or you have Joseph Boyka, you have Alexander Cummings, you have other people who will come up to contest. You know what you are going through. And everyone is saying that Liberia future lies in all of your hands. You who have been granted the privilege to vote, the right to vote, you know the candidates and you know the president who
Yeah.
served in the presidency, and the candidates who've served in different areas, varying areas. Three of those candidates, three of them, and there's not campaign.
No.
Three of those candidates. I start with Tier 1 Gonglo, the latest who is now gaining momentum. You have checked his track record, nothing but corruption. But we have proven to you he is highly corrupt. You check Alexander Cummings' record. There is nothing about corruption where he took monies from his private job to be where he is today. He worked hard and he was able to earn his money. If anybody disagree, put a record out there. But I have not heard that. Then you have Joseph Boyka, who have repeatedly challenged the Liberian people, and no one has come out to say Boyka stole from here when he worked here.
Mhm.
So you have three credible candidates, and the problem of Liberia has been historically corruption. This is the reason why we are the least country on the continent, and I say the least in every sector. Okay, other countries are third world countries on the continent, but they are stable, they're moving, they're making progress. We are stuck here with a corrupt indigenous group of looters who are pillaging our country's economy. So I just wanted to make this point. You have three candidates who you cannot point to for corruption, but you have
Right.
a sitting president who has shown you that he's highly corrupt
Corrupt.
and by the people around him. Nathaniel McGill, with 5 years of work and his salary could not build the mausoleum, in fact, that he put his mom in, needless to say, the properties and all the other things he has.
Yeah.
The Jefferson Koji, the Akaras Gray, and all these guys, the Thomas Fowler, all of these people, they were nothing here the other day. And if you sit around and you see the mansions going and look at the Beaufort Chambers, all of them, the Alvin Chie or Abo Chie, all of them, these are ill-gotten wealth on your sweat, your blood, and your tears. And if you decide that you will put them there, so be it.
It's
I
up
got a
to
job
you.
here, and I will keep talking. This is my free little pro bono job. You didn't pay me for it. I will do my talk. Moses, I thought to throw that. So
No, I
you
uh,
can
I
you,
I
you
agree
can
with you
go for it,
100%.
brother.
The point raised by our man Thomas and my friend and brother Dr. Sumo, they are very genuine. It is 2023 will be decided in terms of who goes for another 6 years or not will be decided by the people of Liberia. Volcano, you and I can come here and talk 24/7. Change comes from within. All we can do is to educate, 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 and speak to those core issues. Then we are empowering the people to make the right decision. So come 2023, if these people go to the pool and decide that, hey, all the talking you did is for nothing, will we let them in? It will be up to them. But there will be consequences for doing that. If the people listen and say, hey, we think our country is in peril and we need to let this man go, then we all will celebrate. And let's pray for the latter, that our people will put Liberia first.
That Liberia is bigger than George Weah.
It's bigger than George.
Liberia is bigger than his Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Liberia is bigger than his 49 condominiums.
Mhm.
Liberia is bigger than his house in Syncor,
Yeah.
his Jamaica Road Resort, or Jamaica Resort, his
The
rehab,
women all over the place.
all his girlfriend. Then
Yeah,
Liberia is
yeah,
bigger than it.
yeah.
Liberia is bigger than his croonings.
Mhm.
Liberia is bigger than his CDC. Liberia is bigger than everything that he's done wrong.
The man has to go.
You understand me?
Yeah. He has to
We
go.
don't deserve this, Moses.
No, the country doesn't.
No,
The
we
man,
don't deserve this.
we don't. Our people don't, and and let's continue to educate them to not allow immediate needs to affect your decision for the future. Because Volcano, people go to college, they graduate, no job. These people become hopeless. Do you know what it means to go through struggles? You go to the University of Liberia maybe for 5, 6 years. You graduate with a bachelor's degree. In the morning, you wake up, you just stay home and play Ludo. No job.
Yeah, little degree.
Yeah. All the years you spend in school just wasted, right? We need somebody that will create jobs for our people. Somebody that will give our people the opportunity to utilize the skills earned or developed.
Thank you,
That's
Moses.
what we need. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, we want to thank you for being with us tonight. It was just a matter of reflecting. I noticed that a lot of you didn't want to call. Probably you're good in your little corner, but you made your private resolution, which we are hoping. Um, we'll be back here next year. Again, I believe the third, because Sunday is the first, which is my birthday, and then Monday is the second. So Tuesday, our next broadcast will be the third, and that will be our first broadcast. I hope we don't wake up to something new in Liberia to kick off the year, something negative. Let's pray for the
Yeah.
positive.
We want something positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pray for something positive. I'd like to thank you, Stephen Collins, for joining us here tonight, Emmanuel, David Momo, and it's good to have Emmanuel Jackson in the house, Thomas Awaji. We say thank you to Fergie Monyu for showing up. Um, Flomo Livingstone, good to see you, my brother. Happy New Year to all of you. Matilda Ruhr, thank you for coming through. Richard Rebel, I know you came off on a low harsh note, but don't be surprised. Come back. We'd like to have you come listen to us. Maybe we'll change your mind. Tyrone Marshall, Mayfield Deco, we say thank you. David Bestman, Raymond Clark, Amma Freeman, Ja Eddie, we say thank you. Izondo Isonyi, Mr. Isionyi, we say thank you for joining us. Agnes Barkley Young, thank you. Arthur Tarty Sr., D.C. Wilson, S. Edward Nifor, we say thank you to Dwayne and also Bennett O'Connor, and including Adiaha Idonjisit Umbo out there in Australia, River says Pro, uh, Ko Voga Moba, we say thank you. Alexander Emmanuel Hayes, we say thank you, Brazilian Monk. If you did show up this evening, we say thank you. Kota Greystone Seze, we say thank you for coming in. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Stanley Bosso and Mapu Hall and the rest of all of you who showed up here tonight. Those of you, our viewers behind the scene who did not make yourself known by coming in the chat room or calling. We say thank you. Thank you for a year of being together. Thank you for your support, your viewership, your fan base, for sharing us, for liking us, for following us, for loving us. We say thank you, thank you, thank you. Moses, let's call it a
Yeah.
night. We'll catch
Yeah.
up in the course of the week. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, we got to catch up
In fact,
tomorrow.
we gotta catch up tomorrow. Yeah. Mhm.
All right. So
Okay.
good night, and you have a great one. I'm gonna go do my thing now. Thank you.
Yeah. You do the same, man.